Namaste. Hello, divine creations, divine marvels, children of God. Thank you so much for dropping by this video. A lot of people have recently asked for recommendations for teachers, and then I just got a comment that really made me smile. I feel that the person said, I feel drawn to learning about Vedanta as a result. I feel that this could be a path that helps me to grow spiritually. Sorry, I digress. I don't know anything about Vedanta, but would like to learn, and was wondering if you had any suggestions for individual, and they wrote sun, S-U-N, as myself. Had any suggestions for an individual sun as myself? Thank you. I think the person meant individual such. But that's the essence of Vedanta, dear one, is that you are a sun. And so first of all, thank you so much. And thank you to the other people who have asked for recommendations. And so the other interesting thing is that this person who just asked, they asked about Vedanta. Now, here's one of the secrets of Vedanta. What we've been taught in the West is Advaita Vedanta, but that's only one school of Vedanta. So to anyone who is maybe beginning their journey, or to anyone who is been on the journey for a while, I would invite you to go to the Wikipedia article on Vedanta. I'm going there right now. And what you will see is that there's many different schools of Vedanta. We've been, in the West, we've been only taught one school, Advaita Vedanta, such as Ramana Maharshi and the Neo-Advaita satsangs I've been critiquing have all been, I don't even want to say based, but loosely connected to Advaita Vedanta. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because part of my journey of healing from Neo-Advaita has actually been exploring these other schools and actually finding that I feel more resonance with resonance and residence in some of these other schools. And so the Wikipedia articles are a little dense. But for example, if you look on YouTube and you look up a video, what's the difference between Advaita and, for example, Vashishta Advaita, and it's spelled for you in the Wikipedia article, then you get some YouTube, then you'll get an overview of even which school of Vedanta that you want to explore. Now, if you feel drawn to Advaita Vedanta, which is I've talked a little bit about Advaita Vedanta here I've talked a lot, actually. First of all, I am in the process of creating a course that goes over the basics of Advaita Vedanta. So come back to this channel and check out my playlist. You'll see I've started it. I've come up so far with the introduction. But it's going to happen at some point. It's not a high priority right now. And the book I would recommend is two things. First of all, pick up the Bhagavad Gita and just start reading it. So all the schools of Vedanta are based on the Bhagavad Gita. All of them. And so to have an understanding of the Gita is what helps me to spot Neo-Advaita and to really spot fake spirituality. The Bhagavad Gita is the real deal. It's about enlightenment. It's about surrendering to God. It's about devotion to God, and a basic metaphysical account of how the universe works. Now, of course, every person who translates it and comments on it has their own view. And as you can tell from the Wikipedia page, there's even many different schools that interpret it quite differently. But regardless, checking out the Bhagavad Gita is a great place to begin. And it talks about the gunas, which I've talked about often, and that's where my knowledge of the gunas comes from, is from the Gita. It's fundamental to yoga. Yoga means union. Yoga doesn't mean stretching. That's hatha yoga. Yoga means union, which is what this is all about. Union, communion with the divine. So, and then if you are further drawn to Advaita, I would recommend that you check out James Schwartz's book, The Essence of Enlightenment. And if you're not, if you're very fluent in Vedic and Hindu philosophy already, then look at Ramana Maharshi's Upadesha Saram. And anyone can check it out, but without a very strong foundation in Hindu and Vedic philosophy, Ramana wrote this with the assumption that one understands sort of the basic, many of the basic, not even how to say. It requires a little literacy, and that's actually the course I'm working on, is providing that literacy. So those are my recommendations. My recommendation is any teacher who claims to be teaching non-duality to approach with skepticism. I'm sorry, that's just welcome to the 21st century and the internet. I hate to say it. It breaks my heart to say it. And those are my some of my recommendations on how to proceed. Hope that's helpful. And it's on my to-do list, and it will happen to provide the sort of some of the basics of Indian philosophy that can allow one, Ramana makes it so simple, but it does require, unfortunately, a little background and a little orientation. The thing is, let's see if there's anything else I want to say. I think the last thing I'll say is that, I really resonate more with Vishishta Advaita, which is qualified non-duality. In Vishishta Advaita, and there's a number of schools that have a very similar theme that say the individual is both one with and yet distinct from God. I don't know how, I'm looking for a hand gesture too. It'd be like this: one, yet distinct. I'm looking for a hand gesture to at one and yet distinct, that there is oneness and differentiation between creator and creation. Whereas Advaita Vedanta says oneness and creation are one and ultimately are one and the same. And so I personally resonate more with Vishishta Advaita and or qualified non-duality. That's the more, I'd say, well, I can't say that, so I won't. I was going to say that's the more prevalent view today in India, but I don't know that that's quite accurate. So see, the thing is we've only been taught, and there's so much, Hinduism is so vast. See, all these different schools, they're not just schools, they're called dattas, which means view. So all these things are just considered different views. And fundamentally, in Sanatana Dharma, which is really the philosophy underneath Hinduism, it's not so much that one view is more correct as it is that these are different views of reality, and different views and different approaches might be helpful to different people at different points in time. Like there's the some people proclaim, well, yes, but non-duality is the ultimate truth. But that's just non-duality speaking. Vishishta Advaita says that enlightenment is recognizing simultaneously our inherent divinity and our inherent divinity, and simultaneously our utter dependence on that which created us, that we didn't make ourselves. And our purpose in life is to love all of this, which is part of God, like all of this stuff is part of God, yet ultimately God is both, yes, at one with and yet distinct from this. Whereas Advaita says the meaning of life is just to merge with, not so much focused on love and service, though those in traditional Advaita ultimately become a part of the game, a part of the gig. So those are a few pointers, and I hope they're helpful. And I wish everyone a blessed day. Thank you so much.